Hi, I'm Jason Sterling. I'm a member of the EA Creator Network. And today, this is an edited version of the live stream I did building out Mysterious Island, the Mysterious Island section of my Victorian theme park, the Eternal Imperium. So the idea is that it's a theme park that the Victorians in, say, 1890 might have built. And this particular area is called Mysterious Island. It's kind of an adventure land, right? It's kind of and it's based on the idea of Jules Verne's Mysterious Island and his other sort of adventure books a little bit. It's kind of inspired by that. So that's why it's called Mysterious Island, right? I went through and did an edited version of that. I guess it's about 2.5 hours live stream. We're going to take a look at it here now. So I'd already done some building on it as a speed build on the initial setup of this particular theme park. One thing I wanted to do with this theme park, with this section, is I wanted to have an area to eat, so a sort of small restaurant type of area, and then a selection of activities to do. The first thing I'm working on here is to tie these decorative elements to the structure more fully using spandrels, because they looked a little bit like they were floating when they were on the first floor. When it's a whole structure you're looking at, it didn't look that way, but it did when it was brought down. You saw there I conveniently added a pea bush, a potty bush for my guests, right? So if you love the idea of going outdoors in a bush in front of a whole bunch of other guests at a theme park, I have got you covered. There's also another bathroom at the entrance to this particular land and right at the exit to this particular land. So you don't have to use the bush. It's just if you roll that way. If you roll that way, I'm good. Let me help you. I'm happy to help. Here is where we're setting up the restaurant. I put in a hot pot, and I'm going to put in some tea sets. So it's not really going to operate like a restaurant. Like in The Sims, we can't really integrate restaurants into other lots. We have to have standalone restaurants. I could use a sort of stall and then hire somebody to run the stall, and I might try that. I might do that on Main Street. Here, I wanted something just a little bit more natural, just in case someone wanted to do some storytelling with it. I put it on sort of a raised platform. The thought at the time was I might put a roof on this, right? I might put a roof on it because when it's raining, it's not going to be much fun to eat, is it? Your hot pot's going to get a little cold out in the rain. I hated the way the roof looked, so I don't ultimately do that. I just did end up leaving it out in the rain. I tried a pavilion, a sort of cover there that you could see. None of the covers we have really look right. Well, we only really have the one. And I don't even know if it keeps rain off, but it didn't really look right. So I end up putting it over by the archery area and using it there where it does work okay and just leaving that open. Whatever, they're not that hungry. If they are, again, they can go back to the entrance to Adventureland. There's a bar there. You can order food and drinks and all sorts of things. So you can use a bar. Again, you have to hire a bartender, but it is there and available. I go in, maybe with venues, I can set that up so a bartender will work there. I think I can do that. And I might set this up as a custom venue and hire a bartender, and hopefully they'll come in and man that particular station. Fingers crossed. I don't know if they'll make food, though, that way. Maybe. You can see here I'm adding some details to our tower. It was not open, so you couldn't see out. I want it to be open. Here on the top floor, we actually have a telescope, so you can observe the stars if you're here at night. I add in some pieces from the Island Living Pack to act as walls, because with the high sort of roof lines and the archway openings, you can see through the roof from behind. That does cover that up. If you want a little tip there, I do it on both the second level and the third level of that tower. The first level of the tower has a sort of altar space. If you just want to have some theme park, sort of role-playing, immersive role-playing, that's there. The second floor of the tower has a meditation space. Again, if you want to just engage in some sort of ideas of this sort of Eastern mysticism as, the Victorians might have seen it, sort of calming effects of Eastern meditation, right? So that's on the second floor. We also have, aside from the place to eat there, I did put some lighting in, as you can see. You're welcome. We also have archery. As you saw a little bit ago, and I have a bonfire coming up. What we can see here is I decided I really didn't need a room that big. This is the room that's going to get you to Adventureland. It's going to be a shop on the Main Street side, and there will be a portal that will take you through to a secret hallway that'll take you back to the dock area for Adventureland. I drop in here and take a look at the portal I put in for Wonderland. It's in the Conservatory on Main Street. It leads back there to a separate mirror. So you go through a mirror because Wonderland's based on Alice in Wonderland. So Alice, through the looking glass, is how she gets to Wonderland, is through a looking glass above a fireplace. So we do the same thing here. Over in Adventureland, I do it through a bookcase because Adventureland is inspired by Mysterious Island, which is a book. So the portal will be disguised there, and it's actually coming up in a little bit, the design of that. I take the extra space I gain and I turn it into a larger waterway. Try to make it a little bit larger through there, a little bit more like a natural pool. We do some landscaping, of course. And there's not much to say to it. I don't do a lot of landscaping. A lot of the landscaping for this area I did off stream because it's just the same thing over and over. Place plant, place plant, place plant, place rock. I threw in some wall decor and I changed the back of the conservatory to look like Adventureland Mysterious Island. Coming up at the end of this video, I will have video and pictures of the completed version where I go in and, like I said, finish the landscaping, stuff like that. Finish some of the exterior building details like I'm working on here so that it gives you more of a complete look how this area turned out. You can see here I did put in a Realm of Magic cauldron. I thought that might be fun if you wanted to kind of play around as a guest to pretend to create magic. Except, of course, in this case, it would actually, I guess, really work. You can go up and make mac and cheese and stuff. I can't remember if you actually have to be a spellcaster to do that, and I do need to play test that. If you do have to be a spellcaster to actually use that, and I don't think you do. I think anyone can make macaroni and cheese in it, stuff like that. So if you do, I might take it out and replace it with something else. If all you need is a magic wand, I'll put magic wands there, right? And anybody can use it. So we'll see how that turns out. But currently it is there. And again, you can kind of see in a few shots a bonfire. So if you're there at night or even there during the day, you can do the bonfire. Next to the bonfire area is a selection of bottles, messages in a bottle. That ties into Mysterious Island. That the characters in Mysterious Island get messages by bottle. So I took the messages in the bottle in the game, and I hide them all around the theme park. Most of them are in Mysterious Island land, but there will also be some in Wonderland and steampunk, the steampunk world. Now you can see here, I was trying to get like that Nava bowl or what Kava is what it's called, to work. I couldn't get it to work. He kept jumping into the water and the bowl would disappear. So basically he would jump into the water, throw the bowl, I guess, in the ground, right? Throw it down to the ground. I'm not doing this. This doesn't work. So I eventually did get it to work. I did kind of get it to work, but I don't know if I think I took it out in the end. I think I decided I really didn't need it. And I didn't really like the way it looked, the sort of what I had to do to make it work. So I took it out. I'm working on the portal here, as you can see, through a bookcase. Now, at first I was trying to get the bookcase to kind of work with the portal. So it looks like it was all one built kind of structure together, like with the fireplace. In the end, I decided, why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. Let's try just shrinking the portal down, putting a bookshelf in front of it, and see if they'll still go through it. Will the bookshelf keep Sims from transporting through the portal? And we'll put a bookshelf on the other side too, frame them in so you can't see them as a guest at the park, and we'll go that route. And that is what I did. And then I play tested it, and voila, yes, it worked. It did work. So that's how I did that one. It's just completely hidden. Now, when you're using portals, Sims, there's no way to click on a portal anyway. Sims just automatically use them. So if you click back in Mysterious Island or Adventureland and you say, go to the bar, go sit in this seat, whatever, back there you want to use, they'll use the quickest route to get there. And the quickest route to get there is through a portal, because the only way you can get to the lands in the back is through a portal, either through the Conservatory or through that Curio Shop, right? It's going to be a Curious Shop with all sorts of artifacts and stuff in it. Or through the Steampunk Oddfellows Hall. There'll be a sort of mechanical invention and device there. You'll go through that to get back to Steampunk World. I go through and I do some work on the Main Street side, mostly just to free up space on the Mysterious Island side, because I decide Main Street isn't really where you're going to spend your time. You come in through there, and there might be some places to shop or pretend to shop, or, you know, these stalls. The stalls you could really shop at if you want to hire someone to man the stall. You can definitely shop there. And I put in kind of adventure style stuff from Realm of Magic, right? Magical stuff on that side of the street. So you definitely can do that. But I really didn't need that much room as I was dedicating to it. I just needed things that would be on the sidewalk they could approach. And so that's what I'm doing there. I go in and I make a much larger space for our, it's kind of a dock area. There is a bar, but really it's a sort of launching point for ships into Mysterious Island, because that's where you can grab a kayak. The river system in Mysterious Island connects to Wonderland and Steampunk World. So you can take a kayak through the whole back of the park. You can take a little boat. You cannot use the boats from Sulani. They are too big for this particular setup, but the kayaks are great. They're super small. They're easy to get around in. The bad thing is, of course, that you can't take a toddler that way. You'll have to teleport them wherever you're going, or go through the portals and then walk. You can walk from Steampunk World over to Adventure Island. You can't walk from the entrance point of Adventure Island to Steampunk World, though. So you would have to teleport from this little bar area, this little port area, over to the island, over to the mainland, and walk the rest of the way. A lot of time with toddlers, because they walk so slow, if I'm not carrying them, I just teleport them anyway, just to kind of save time. So, you know, if you want to bring a toddler with you, then that's a great way to do it. Now, here at the end, I'll show a little bit of video and some final pictures of this area as it stands now. When I'm playtesting, things will change. When I'm, you know, recording and taking pictures, things will change. But as a general rule, this is where we stand at the moment. We've got our adventure theme world that leads into a contemplation square. You can do some paper crafts there, so it's another activity for this particular section, this particular world. You've got some paper crafts you can do there. You can also fish there if you want. I mean, if you want to do that at a theme park, you can definitely fish there. And then that leads into Wonderland, which is what we'll tackle next time. That was my next live stream, was Wonderland, and I will do a condensed edited version for it as well. So please hit like, subscribe, and notify so that you can catch that. That should be coming up pretty quickly. I'm going to try to get it done the next couple of days. Get it up. I'll have live streams coming up through the weekend. This video's out on Sunday. So there'll be a live stream today. There'll be a live stream tomorrow. My weekend is Sunday and Monday. So I'm a hairdresser, or a hairstylist. So that's my weekend, Sunday and Monday. So Sunday and Monday, I'll be doing a live stream today, Sunday, live stream tomorrow, Monday, and then back to video releases next week until the weekend, right? So that's what's coming up. So please hit like, subscribe, and notify. We'll do live streams also to test out this theme park and the hotel. There's a hotel that ties into this theme park based on steampunk. I've got videos up for it. So we'll be doing a live stream there with my family, the RM Cascadian family, Reg, Max, Grant, Hooper, and maybe Shane and Danny will be there to test out the hotel using the Sweet Life mod from Lot 51. That'll be the live stream coming up this weekend today. It should be today. If you're watching this on Sunday, the live stream should also happen today on Sunday. So until then, or until the next time I see you, thanks for watching.